Hello, my name's David Seaman, and this is the Three Lions podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions podcast. My name is Russell Osborne and this is an independent England football supporters podcast. I hope I find you well. Plenty to get through on this episode, but firstly, I just want to express my thoughts to all those involved in the Liverpool Trophy Parade incident. I'm sure you are fully aware of this. You've probably seen and read all about it in the news. Horrific. People should be able to go to a joyous end of season event without fear of incident. So yeah, thinking of everyone involved. Right. Summer is upon us, and that means that tournament football is on the horizon. You may have heard the recent episode where I mentioned some of the competitions our England sides are involved in over the next couple of months. So that episode is still available at your podcast provider of choice. But to quickly recap, we have the Under-17 Euros for the men, which got underway last week time. England drew their opener 1-1 with Belgium. They then faced Italy, lost 4-2, which meant that they went into the last group game against Czechia, hoping for a win and hoping that the other result would go their way. Well, they got the win, a convincing 4-2 victory. However, the other result didn't go our way. Belgium took the second spot on goal difference. They made their way to the semi-finals along with Italy from our group. And our lads, well, they make their way home. The Under-21s Euros for the men, they begin on the 11th of June. That's in Slovakia. Then the women's Under-19s Euros takes place between the 15th and the 27th of June. That's in southeast Poland. Then we have the Women's Euros being held in Switzerland. That starts on the 2nd of July. Now, I'll come back to this very soon, as this episode is focused on the Lionesses and their upcoming matches. But before that, I just want to quickly mention England Shirt Day, Tuesday the 10th of June, when the senior men play Senegal at the City Ground in Nottingham. This is our opportunity to cover the stands in Three Lions, or in your own home, or at the pub whilst you're watching the game. And in doing so, I have decided to raise some money for the Bobby Moore Fund. It's an arm of Cancer Research UK. These guys are tackling bowel cancer. Bowel cancer is the second most common cause of cancer death in the UK, with 46 people losing their life to the disease every day in the UK. I've sorted out a fundraising page. It can be found at fundraise.cancerresearch.org/page/England Shirt Day. Now, I appreciate that's a bit long, but if you do head to my social media pages, you should be able to find the link there. Or just send me a message. I'll forward it on to you. But I'm really grateful for those who have already donated. For those that still intend to do so, you haven't got round to doing it yet. Yeah, I know the feeling. Been there, done that. Thank you in advance. I know you will. Now, as promised, let's talk Lionesses. Let's bring you up to date. Now, the women's season has finished. Chelsea, the dominant force once again. Winners of the WSL by a clear 12 points over Arsenal. Now, they also won the FA Cup, beating Manchester United, adding those two trophies to the League Cup that they won in March, all under the stewardship of Sonia Bonpastor, who came in after Emma Hayes left for the US women's team. So well done to Chelsea. Now, I do also want to mention Arsenal women, who made it to the Champions League final against Barcelona and went on to beat them. Barca being the favourites. That's the team that dispatched Chelsea 8-2 over the two-legged semi-final. Now, this really is a huge milestone for English women's domestic football, European football, to break the monopoly of either Barcelona or Lyon, as it has been since 2016, is massive. And for English players such as Leah Williamson, who soaked everything up that was thrown against her, Alessia Russo, Chloe Kelly, who herself has turned her season around, those girls, they've got a Champions League medal to go alongside their Euro winners' medal. These are now seasoned winners we have in our Lionesses team. Massive achievement. Well done. And also I want to mention Everton, where the senior men exited Goodison Park on their way to their new stadium for next season. There is good news there that iconic ground, Goodison, will remain as home for Everton's women's side, which I think is a fantastic move. Would have been such a shame to have seen that razed to the ground. However, though, it's not all good news. This is a tough one. Blackburn Rovers women's side announced that they intend to withdraw from the WSL2. That's the Women's Championship next season, following what they say as being funding issues. Now, if you're a Blackburn fan, you don't need me to tell you about the Venkies. If you're a football fan in general, I'm sure you're more than aware of the Venkies, the owners of Blackburn. I think least said, the better. Although it does appear that their near neighbours, Burnley, are going to try and step in and fill the void in the league, the Women's Championship, which is probably another stab in the chest for Rovers fans. But that's really hard. You see your football team taken away. I don't think it is funding issues. I have to be honest. I think there is more to it. But yeah, let's hope to see Blackburn back in competitive action soon. But the Lionesses, they are back in competitive action. It's Nations League action. Friday the 30th, they head to Wembley to face Portugal. Then on the 3rd of June, they are away to Spain. These are the final two games of the competition before the finals are played in October and December. England are in Group A3, and as it stands, Spain are top with 9 points, has 3 wins and a defeat. We are second with 7 points, 2 wins, a draw and a defeat. Portugal third with 4 points, 1 win, 1 draw, 2 defeats, and Belgium bottom with 3 points with just the 1 victory and 3 defeats. That 1 win though for Belgium was actually the Lionesses' last game. It was back in April when the Red Flames won 3-2. It was actually a double header. England won the first game 5-0 at Ashton Gate in Bristol. And I think it just goes to show how close the women's game currently is at international level. Or perhaps how inconsistent and vulnerable England are at the moment. For those that maybe aren't aware, the away game saw the debut of Michelle Agyman. She was on loan at Brighton from Arsenal. She was called up to the squad following Alessia Russo's withdrawal. And the game in Leuven in Belgium, she came on as an 80th minute substitute and within 40 seconds had scored. This wasn't just any old goal either. It was a cracker. 2 touches, back of the net.
And we're going to see an England debut for Michelle Agyman. The teenager enters the fray. A player who was with the under-19s at the weekend, helping them qualify for the Euros. A player who's on loan at Brighton from Arsenal. And Agyman, oh, it's absolutely magnificent! What an introduction to life as a Lioness! What an impact! And she celebrates it like it's nothing.
Wow, just wow. It's an incredible delivery, but the first touch and the finish executed to perfection. You would not believe that she has just entered the pitch on her England debut.
So England, well, they do still have work to do if they are to fill one of those 4 spots for the finals. So let's take a look at the squad Sarina Wiegman selected on the 13th of May. We have 4 goalkeepers: Mary Earps, Hannah Hampton, Ciara Keating and Anna Morehouse. Defenders: Millie Bright, Lucy Bronze, Jess Carter, Niamh Charles, Alex Greenwood, Maya Letitia, Esme Morgan, Ella Morris, Leah Williamson. In midfield: Grace Clinton, Missy Bo Kearns, Fran Kirby, Jess Park, Georgia Stanway, Ella Toone, Kira Walsh. The strikers, 7 of them. Michelle Adjumang retains her spot after that debut goal. Aggie Beaver-Jones is there, Lauren Hemp, Chloe Kelly, Beth Mead, Nikita Paris and Alessia Russo. Facts and stats, I know you like them. It's a 27-player squad made up from 6 from Chelsea, 4 from Manchester City, 4 from Arsenal, 3 from Manchester United and Brighton, and 1 each from PSG, Orlando Pride, Gotham FC, Washington Spirit, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich and Tottenham. It is a squad with 1,142 caps, which must be one of the highest in recent years. 202 goals across it with an average age of 26.68, the oldest being Lucy Bronze at 33, and the youngest being, well, it's Michelle Adjumang again. She's 19 years old. Lucy Bronze, the most capped, with 131. Now we have 4 uncapped players. 2 of these are goalkeepers, Ciara Keating and Anna Morehouse. Now, I mean, Ciara Keating seems to have been around the squad for quite a while now. Obviously Manchester City's number 1. But Anna Morehouse is yet to play a game for the Lionesses. She comes across from Orlando on every occasion. Is yet to be capped. So you got to feel for her a little bit. Then there's a new player yet to be capped, Ella Morris from Tottenham, defender, and Missy Bo Kearns, who I believe has been selected before for the squad. Bo Kearns over at Aston Villa is a midfielder. Highest goal scorer is Beth Mead with 34 to her name, and she was the other scorer against Belgium last time out. Now, there are some big names returning. Alex Greenwood, Georgia Stanway and Lauren Hemp, all returning to the Lionesses for the first time in a little while. Hopefully we can get some stability back with those there in the squad. Some that are still missing: Lauren James, Lucy Parker, Maisie Simmons, Millie Turner as well, haven't been selected for whatever reason. Now, this is where I need to edit a little something in. Quite unexpected, to be honest. Tuesday the 27th of May, goalkeeper Mary Earps announced her retirement from the international game with immediate effect, which I'll be honest came as a bit of a bolt from the blue for everyone. So obviously I've just mentioned her in the squad there. She's not going to be in the squad for these upcoming games against Portugal and Spain. Now, her reasoning on a social media post of hers said, "This is the right time for me to step aside and give the younger generation an opportunity to thrive. Winning the Euros in 2022 was the best day of my life, and I'm rooting for the girls to do it again this summer. It's been the greatest honour and privilege of my life to wear this badge and represent my country. I wish I could do it forever, but sadly all good things must come to an end." Now, Earps is only 32. For a goalkeeper, that's still young. 53 caps she's got after making her debut back in 2017. She came on as a sub for Karen Bardsley away in Switzerland in a 4-0 victory. Now, her last cap was in that 1-1 draw away to Portugal. Now, formerly she was at Manchester United, but her most recent move was a year ago where she moved to France, and she's been at PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. In my mind, it seems like a strange choice, but I'm going to add a caveat to this. In a moment, I'll mention it. A strange choice in its timing when going into a tournament. Leaves us very light in experience. I've already mentioned both Kiara Keating and Anna Morehouse are both inexperienced at international level. The only other real alternative, I guess, is Ellie Roebuck, who's at Barcelona, but she hasn't played for the Lionesses since February 2023 in an Arnold Clark Cup game against Italy at Coventry. Now, I mentioned a caveat, and it could be a variety of reasons that Mary Earps has decided to retire. Variety of reasons that could be personal to her, which is her right to hold those close to her chest if this is the case. And it's not my place to speculate, if I'm honest. Now, Serena Wiegman, it seems recently, has she made a firm choice? She's been switching between Earps and Hannah Hampton. Earps is a big personality, both on and off the pitch. She's got high standards. And there may well be more to it, but from the outside, not wanting to go to a tournament and fight your place seems wrong to me. But I go back to that caveat. Despite this, she remains the Lionesses' greatest ever goalkeeper, doesn't she? It's her decision. I wish her well. So back to the games. How do I think they will go? Well, both are going to be tough. A home game to Portugal. I've got a ticket for that one. I'm going to go with my daughter for some Friday night football. Now, the draw over there showed some of our weaknesses. And the Portuguese, well, I think they'll be buoyant following that result. But they did lose 7-1 to Spain in one of their last games. But I think home advantage will show in this instance. Now, our record against Portugal is we've played 11, won 7 and drawn 4. By the looks of it, the vast majority of the Portuguese players, well, they play in their home nation, play for teams like Benfica, Braga, Sporting, all the familiar names that you'd expect. And it was Kika from Barcelona who equalised back in February in that 1-1 game. But the tough one, well, that's going to be away in Spain. This, despite us beating them at Wembley. Of course, Spain, current World Cup holders, beat us in the final last year, down under. Now, the venue for this game, by pure chance, is the same as the one being used by England's senior men a few days later. It's Espanyol's RCD Stadium in Barcelona. Now, you may know that Barcelona has its divisions within Spain, as do a couple of other regions of the country. So it'll be interesting to see what the attendance actually is and how much interest there is. And by the looks of it, the last time that the Spanish women played in the city in an official capacity was 1984, where they drew with France. Now, Spain haven't lost at home since December 2023, and before that it was 2019. So they've got a good, strong home record, as you'd expect. And with regards to familiar faces, well, you may recognise some from the Spanish side. Defenders Alexandri and Uhabi are at Manchester City. Cadena at Arsenal. Also at Arsenal is Mariana Caldentry, a striker there. Now, our record against Spain, well, as I mentioned, we last played them in that game at Wembley. That was in February. Jess Park scrambling home the only goal of the game. It was a game where the girls showed us what they're capable of. And we'll need to see more of that come the summer. But it will be the 19th meeting between the two sides. England have got the advantage, winning 9. 6 have been draws and only lost on 3 occasions. With regards to a prediction, it is a tough one to call. But what I will say is that I think Spain will qualify for the finals, top of the group. But hopefully with the return of some of those players that I mentioned, Greenwood, Stanway and Hemp, then we can look forward with positivity towards the summer. Now we do have one more game before the Euros. It was announced a while back that we'll be playing Jamaica in a send-off friendly at Leicester City on Sunday the 29th of June, by which time we should have a squad ready to go to Switzerland. So nearer the time, I will be taking a look at that. But just to remind you, as I say, the Women's Euros kickstart on the 2nd of July. Spain and Portugal are actually in the same group once again. They're going to get bored with each other, Spain and Portugal. But the Lionesses, though, they are in Group D alongside France, the Netherlands and Wales. As I say, when it comes on a little closer, we will take a little bit more of an in-depth look at it. Now, if you are going to either game, be it the Portugal one at Wembley or Spain away, enjoy them. Safe travels. And I will be back with you very soon for another episode. So until then, take care. Cheers.